Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this first impressions unwrapping and flip through walkthrough of Juli Rose's Cup of Contemplation cards. I totally tripped over my words there because I'm very excited today. So this is Juli, our very own Peekaboo Rose here on YouTube, who has created this deck, and I'm super excited. I ordered it like right away. And I'm just really looking forward to peeking at all the cards. I have watched Juli's walkthrough, but admittedly, I only watched about half of it because I wanted to save some surprises for myself. But I'm really looking forward to diving in. I'm just going to do my normal, like, getting ready things because, well, yeah. I cut out some little packets of tea to decorate my table, which made me feel very, like, creative. And I poured my own cup of tea. So I'm excited. Let's get into it. Oh, it's I need to use a sharp object, and hopefully not. I'm doing this off camera because when I use knives on camera, I feel like it makes people nervous. So maybe it doesn't, but it makes me nervous that other people might be nervous. So let's see if I got it. You know that like delicate operation when you try to like get into the saran wrap, but you like, or the plastic wrap, but you don't want to nick your cards. Ah, there we go. It's much better. Here we go. So these cards do not come with a box, but I believe you can order one like as an add-on, I think, on makeplayingcards.com, but these cards do come from makeplayingcards.com. Now I'm in Canada, so it's a little bit more with the exchange and the shipping, but this is a very, very affordable deck. I love the pastel colors. Because it did come shrink wrapped, there is a bit of a bow to the cards, but I know that that will sort itself out. The Make Playing Cards cardstock is typically very smooth and shuffles really well. This is the title card here on the top, and then these are the backs of the cards, which I think are super cute. And you've got Juli's cat Juju here, and this really pretty design. What a sweet way to remember her beloved pet. I love that. But these are really pretty, and it's funny because when you watch walkthroughs, you don't always see these kinds of details, but there's a really lovely floral design in the background. Now, Juli used vectorized images to create this artwork, and the cardstock is actually, it feels nice. Like, you know when you hold like a really nice smooth card, it's thin, but it's bendy. It feels really good. So where is my, I grabbed my Rider-Waite Smith just so we could look at sizing. So let's just take a look. Yeah, so it's a pretty generous sized Oracle sized deck. I love the colors though, I have to say. Okay, I'm gonna set my Rider-Waite to the side and I'm gonna zoom us in a little bit so that we can look at the flip through a little easier. It's probably good. Cup of Contemplation. So I will link down below, and I have it linked also, if I forget, I do have it linked on my community tab on the channel. You can find a link to Juli's walkthrough of these cards. She created these for herself and then made them available for purchase. But again, she set the price really super affordably. So I have a feeling she's not making a whole lot of money on these, but I think she did a beautiful job and deserves all the credit for this amazing work. I am not a naturally very creative person, so to me, when I look at this, it looks like it probably took her a very long time. So yeah, she's also done some fun like sort of fan decks for herself before. At least I think she's made a Majors Only She-Ra inspired deck. But here we go. Okay, so this is cute. How can I be more loving? And we've got the little hearts on the mug, and then the wallpaper. I'm gonna call it wallpaper because it's kind of like this background paper. Is like these little double cherry images. Really cute. And I love that it's not just a plain solid backing, although I think that would look fine with this particular deck. And right away, the first thing I noticed is that the steam design isn't exactly the same. And I kind of assumed that it would be fairly much the same throughout the entire deck. Oh, I'm missing. I feel very discombobulated. Hold on. So normally when I bring a new deck in, the very first thing I do is I hit it with some cleansing smoke, and I totally skipped that step. And it was making me feel funny. Alrighty. And some Palo Santo. There we go. That's better. Okay, now we can jump back into it. Sorry for the interruption. All right. How can I be more loving? What's the path to forgiveness? Now this one, the background is like these circles. It's very faint, but it's really lovely. And I love that we have the dove here representing peace. What if I reminded myself that we're all mad here? This is one of the ones I saw in her walkthrough, and I thought this was really clever. Love the green stripes in the background, and the Cheshire Cat, of course, with a nod to Alice in Wonderland. What am I thankful for? A cup of gratitude. Yeah, again, the steam is not like identical. Like these two are similar, but the others have all been different. Okay, I'm digging it. I like that the gratitude cup seems to have hot cocoa or coffee in it. Do they all have the same dark liquid? Maybe they all do. I might have been making that up. But they seem as if they could be slightly different colors. This one's got the diagonal in the background. What brings me joy? I love the kites on this image because kites are very much a sign of, or a symbol of freedom and of play. And I love that symbology here. Definitely the drink is a different color here. So I'm seeing, yeah, so I don't think I was wrong to imagine that some of these might be coffee, some might be cocoa, some could be tea. I mean, I guess that's for your intuition, your imagination to play with. But for something just tells me that the joy cup should be filled with cocoa. So that's what I'm going to see there. How am I caring for my body? And we have what looks like somebody practicing some martial arts here. And I like this radiant, smooth background. Where can I exercise more patience? Love the hourglass, super spot on. What am I overthinking? Off switch for the brain. And this one has almost like a marbled texture to the background. It's subtle, it's there. What's my dream trying to tell me? Where can I release the all or nothing mentality? So we've got yes, no, and then there's this like #1 prize happening up here. This is really poignant because I think a lot of times we have this idea that if we're not like the best at something, that it's not worth doing. If it's not perfect, it's not worth doing. There's a lot here around perfectionism. There's also a lot here around sort of black and white thinking, and that's why I like this like arrow in the middle here. Like that. What if I didn't self-sabotage? Oh, she did such an amazing job picking like really suitable images to go with each mug. And I like that the mugs also are different, right? All different kinds. And this is so fun for Juli specifically because she collects mugs. She's like a real mug fanatic. And so having a mug deck, just, it's got her like energy all over. And I adore that. And Juli has a very psycho spiritual, I guess is one of the words that I've heard from Kellyanne Maddox, but a very psychologically influenced approach to tarot. She's very grounded in the way that she approaches the tarot. And I really just feel that in these. What have I learned? And I love the raven here with the key. What's an alternative? This is a great like antidote kind of card to the what if I wasn't doing the all or nothing thinking. How did she word that? Where can I release all or nothing mentality? And then what's an alternative? These are similar, but they are different ideas and they kind of get you thinking a little bit differently. These cards would obviously be amazing journal prompts. How can I engage more with nature? Who or what is challenging my values? Oh, I like that. Who can I reconnect with? This is a very, very cool card because at first glance you're like, oh, this is snails and flowers. And I don't know if this is intentional, but to me it has to be. The shape of this mug combined with these designs, I also see a skull. I can see the eyes of the skull and the mouth of the skull here, and then the shape is very reminiscent of a skull to me. And so I feel like this could be potentially a nod to ancestor work, to reconnecting with, yes, with people obviously in the here and now, the living, but there's also something here about sort of a nod to people that have passed. It could have been entirely a coincidence. It's entirely possible. I don't recall her thoughts on this. I might not have seen this because, again, I only watched about half the walkthrough. So I'd be curious. Juli, if you're watching this, was that intentional? Because it totally reads Sugar Skull to me a little bit. So very cool. What's one step I can take right now? You guys know I'm a huge fan of baby steps. And anybody who's had a reading from me has probably heard that term from me at least once. But I love this. I love this with the little paw prints. Is my current coping mechanism an act of self-care or a crutch? And I love that we see shopping therapy represented here. I think that's brilliant. What if I realized it wasn't my problem? Peace out. I love that. That's awesome. Again, we have the cherries in the background here. I think that's the first time I've seen a repeating pattern. We have the cherries here. It's so funny that the designs in the background are very subtle and they kind of add to the card without taking away from the card. So there may be some repeated, but it doesn't, like, because they're sort of subtle and in the background. And I love the work with color she's done here. I mean, I keep wanting to flip through the old ones, but I love the work with color. Who or what is holding me back? And we have a bird in a cage. How can I de-escalate? Yes. Why do I think I can't or shouldn't? Yeah, why am I stopping myself? Good. How am I living more lightly? What gives me pride? Yeah, see, here's a similar shaped cup to that skull, that cup that makes me think of a skull. But it doesn't give me those vibes now at all. Who can I rely on? Am I compromising or am I settling? So good. What if I let my guard down? I love the mask here. This is so perfect as a card of authenticity and vulnerability. That makes so much sense. What do I want to manifest? Oh, I love this. This reminds me of sort of adult coloring and playing with, that's just what it makes me think of. So beautiful. Why am I procrastinating and how can I regain momentum? And I like that she's got re there. Sometimes we're looking to pick up speed and sometimes we're like, we've lost steam and we need to get that back again. And I love the gears here and how it kind of makes me think of how not smaller, but how there's supports that help us move towards our goals as well as just the main things we tend to focus on. Sometimes we forget those little things that can help support us moving forward. Who needs my empathy and support? Oh my God, the sad bunny and then the fox. Oh, that's so cute. What am I neglecting? I love that there's a flower or just a plant in general on this card because I am like notorious for not watering my plants. I'm so bad. I'm like the worst with plants. I need to be better. But you can really tell, like if you're neglecting a flower or a plant, you can tell because the flower or the plant will wilt or it will start to show signs of neglect. But not everything gives us those visible signs. So that's a good check-in card. How can I have some fun? I love this. This is so great. I did see this one on her walkthrough. So cute. I love this. It's adorable. And it makes me think of her Everyday Witch Tarot, which was one of the decks that she's very closely bonded with. One of my favorite decks as well. It just kind of feels like a nod to that deck in a way. What if I didn't compare myself to others? That's right. There's a paper boat here and a couple paper planes, which makes so much sense. It's like the paper boat isn't the paper plane. The paper plane isn't the paper boat, but they are both equally fun. What's the source of my anxiety or depression? Very useful. A follow-up card reading, overkill or an opportunity for clarity? Yeah, sometimes we just want a better message to end with when we've really already gotten the answer we need. How can I prevent burnout? We have this depleting battery. Love that. I mean, if we think about it, when our phone is getting low, right? Like we tend to that, but we don't always tend to ourselves when we're feeling depleted. How do I let go? And I love the little dandelion seeds floating on the wind. I love that. There's this moment. I mean, even I'm sure for Juli with this project, like she created this for herself, but at a certain point, you know, when she makes it available for sale, now it's in everybody else's hands and she can't control how people are going to perceive them or use them. It's all like, you kind of just release. And I think that's the case with a lot of things. You know, once you've done what you needed to do, the rest is kind of out of your hands. And sometimes that process is hard. What situation needs my courage or perseverance? And we have this like superhero on this card. I love that. What does my intuition say? The moon is a super appropriate symbol for that card. And how can I be more open to receive inspiration? And this one's clearly tea. We've got the little tea bag tag hanging there. I love that. Oh, these are so cute. So I actually have a bit of a card altar where I use certain cards that I'm working with on the regular. And right now I have a deck, the I'll have to show it at some point and do a little tour of that space. I've shown it in my, you can see the space in my recent video where I was revamping my spaces. But I always have like a set of cards near that space where I change out what's on display. So more like cards that I meditate on, cards that I contemplate, or that I'm working with over a period of time. And I think these are going to go over there into rotation to be cards that I can sort of pull and leave out for a while, because I think a lot of these cards are really wonderful for like a point to contemplate for a while or to meditate on. I don't see this being something that I would like just kind of fly through. I feel like this is something that each card I feel like I'd want to sit with for a bit of time and not just, you know, not just, I don't know, take it in and let the moment pass, but really take it in. Oh, I shuffled in the title card. I really enjoy these. Now I have to find the perfect peggy bag for them. I'm gonna need to find like a coffee bag or something, or a tea bag. I think what I mean is a coffee or tea themed bag to keep these in. These are really, really nice. And I like this cardstock. It's the Make Playing Cards cardstock there. I think it's called Superior Smooth. I've probably mentioned this already, but it is really nice. They are tall, but they rifle shuffle just fine. Oh, I didn't see how many cards there were. I'm guessing about 30 something, but it probably says on the link. So I will have that down below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while we took a look at Juli Rose's Cup of Contemplation cards. Thank you so, so much, and I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on these down below. I will have a link and all the information where you can get them, as well as a link to Juli's video where she first did a full walkthrough. And until later, guys, bye!